Hello KW community, thank you for joining us today. We are having our Latin table at the moment in store and online, and today we are going to welcome Gabriela from Purely Mexican to make some authentic dishes from her home country. And let's welcome Gabriela, and she can tell you what she's going to make for you. Come on in.
Hi Joe, thank you for the invite. Hi guys, we're going to be making 3 delicious recipes today. We're going to start with the roasted jalapeno salsa, very easy to make and quite quick. And also we're going to make a pulled pork with chipotle adobo, in adobo, in a slow cooker. And then we're going to finalize it with the homemade corn tortillas. So today, I started already with roasting the jalapenos, and we have some tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, beautiful jalapeno peppers that we got at the shops, very good size, and I'm just slightly roasting them, and then we'll be making we'll be making the salsa once all the ingredients are nicely roasted.
So do you guys, when you roast those in the pan, you don't put any oil or anything like that
No,
in them?
it's not necessary. It's not needed at all because they need to be nicely. It's all dry ingredients. It's quick and easy. It's a recipe that probably every house in Mexico makes quite quickly, and it's also because all the ingredients are quite prominent in every household in Mexico with this. And I don't know any family that doesn't have a jalapeno pepper in their house. So this is just a very quick and easy recipe, but it's quite flavorsome because of the roasting style. So we have, like I said, the tomatoes, we have the jalapenos, we have a little bit of onion and the garlic too.
Delicious.
And they're roasting quite well. I'm gonna have to take the garlic out and keep roasting the tomatoes. So while the ingredients get a little bit more roasted, we're gonna be working now on the pulled pork recipe, and we're gonna be making the adobo salsa. Okay, so let's start. So we have some tomatoes here, crushed tomatoes. These, all these ingredients can be found in any local shop. So we got the tomatoes, we got the garlic, fresh garlic. We got the most important ingredient, which is the chipotle in adobo. Just 1 can of the chipotle in adobo will suffice.
How easy is the paste to find, the chipotle?
You can find it anywhere these days, and any supermarket, any small convenient, even the convenience stores too. They're very popular. Everybody wants to use them, and it's also because of the particular smoky flavor and the hotness of the chili. It gives a really the end product is really, really good.
Great.
And then finally we're going to add the beer.
Cerveza.
La cerveza, yes.
Did you need your salt as
And
well?
we're gonna add a little bit of salt. You can adjust this afterwards to taste. And Joe is gonna help me work this wonderful machine. Joe, you can actually smell it.
Oh, it's so good. You can smell the chipotle.
Oh, it's just wonderful. And the beer, you can also use cider. If you don't like beer, you can use the cider. It's actually it actually gives it probably. I like to use both sometimes. It depends on whatever I have in the fridge. But this is ready.
Great.
So what
should we
we're gonna
move
do?
the slow cooker in?
Yes.
Yep.
We have a leg of pork here, or pork butt. You can use either. I like pork butt better. It's less greasy. And we're gonna use some onion to put at the bottom of the pan, just to enhance the flavor. And so you add all this onion, which is just 1 or 1.5. If you like a bit, it's fine. It actually blends in really nicely with the flavor of the pork and the sauce, the adobo sauce.
So if anyone's missing anything on the recipe, Gabriela has kindly given us her special recipe that we're going to put on the blog, so you'll be able to follow along to it, and it'll have all the measurements.
Yes. Now you add the pork butt.
Could you use a shoulder as well?
You can use a shoulder. You can use little pork pieces too, if you don't want to. But I personally like the whole section. Now we're gonna add the adobo sauce to it.
So that was blitzed up in the microwave?
Blitzed up and beautifully,
Yep.
you know, it came out so nice. And just add a little bit of salt.
And we are cooking.
Yes. And you can add a little bit of greens if you want to, like celery or coriander or parsley. But I like it. This is the traditional version. And it's actually phenomenal once it's done. Then we'll cover it.
Great.
We're gonna let it cook for six hours.
Perfect. So will we continue on now?
Now we're going to continue with let's check out our ingredients for the roasted tomato jalapeno salsa. And they're looking quite nice. They're not fully there, the tomatoes. Sorry, I'm making it Mexican style and using my hands all the time.
They're clean. I saw you wash them.
Don't do this. I'm so used to it now.
So Gabriela, whereabouts are you from in Mexico?
I'm from a town called Guanajuato, and right in the center of Mexico. A lot of people haven't heard of it, but it's a very colonial mining town when there was any gold or silver left.
And you still have family living there?
No, I don't. I don't have family living there, immediate family. They all live in the USA now. The onion is actually ready, so I'm going to place it and I'm going to take it out of the heat. The chilies are nearly there, but not fully. We're just waiting for the tomatoes, which
Great. So
I'm going to try, yes,
yep.
they're nearly there, so I'm going to get the Vitamix again.
Okay.
And we're going to try, and we're going to blend it through.
Great.
All the ingredients are ready for the roasted tomato salsa, so I'm going to start placing them in the Vitamix.
So people in WA can find your special salsas at a couple of the markets?
Yes. I go to the farmers markets in Claremont. And also in Pointers Farmers Markets in Duncraig, and also I will be starting in North Perth in Kaela, so they can find me there.
We are spoilt for choice.
So we got all the ingredients now. We'll place them in the Vitamix. We add a little bit of salt.
And I'll help you with the Vitamix again.
Yes, please. We want it a little bit chunky because that looks beautiful.
Nice.
Excellent. So we have this bowl here that we're going to place.
The locking lid.
Oh, the locking lid, yes.
Yeah.
I can never get it right. So this, guys, is the most delicious,
Look at that.
fresh salsa.
Smells so good in here, doesn't it, boys?
The jalapenos just gives
So
it away.
do you find it easy enough to get all your ingredients in Australia?
Yes, you can get just about everything these days. Yes, all the fresh, with these particular jalapenos, I believe once upon a time they used to be imported from the US. Now they're growing
You can
here
get
and they're
them,
beautiful.
yeah.
The size of the jalapeno is just amazing now. It's almost compared to the ones that you get in the US or Mexico. Well, no, not just yet. The Mexicans are bigger. So this is the beautiful roasted jalapeno salsa, and you can use this with anything. You can use that for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and in this case we're going to use it with the pulled pork later on once we finish with that.
Fantastic. And would you serve that hot or cold?
You can serve it both ways. I personally like it hot, just like we just now, and have all the meal ready. And you can just use it with eggs. You can use it with anything really.
I'm definitely going to make that one.
Yes.
So should we get started on the corn tortillas now?
Yes.
While we're the pork's 5 minutes in.
Yes, of course. Hi, we're back, and we're going to be making homemade corn tortillas. So all you need is the masa flour, very hot water, a pinch of salt, and that is optional, and a beautiful cast iron flat pan. So this is got to be hot, otherwise your tortillas will stick to the pan. So just make sure that the cast iron or the pan that you will be using is nice and hot. And we have the king of the king tortilla making machine, a Victoria, a beautiful cast iron, really sturdy, very, very well made. And we're going to be using, in order to make the tortillas, we have to use a freezer bag to seal it, so it's easy for you to peel the tortillas. So you will not be able to put the tortillas right on the surface. You need to have a plastic a peeling bag, and I like to use the freezer bags. They're nice and easy to peel because they're nice and thin. So I've made a pattern already from one of them. I cut it up, and you need one for the top and you need one for the bottom. Okay, so we'll let me just peel these off, make sure it's going. So that one's ready.
So they're just like about a fruit and vegetable type bag thickness?
Yeah, freezer normal bags. You can actually get them from the freezers for food to freeze, to add things to the freezer. What is in the freezer section? They sell all these types of bags. So yes, and so you need to cover it. And now we got the masa harina, which is a corn maize masa. I have 2 cups here.
And the masa is a very important ingredient, isn't it, for the corn tortillas?
Yes, yes.
There's no substitute for that for corn tortillas?
No. This is for the corn tortillas. It's only the maize flour that you need. I'm going to put this here. And we need very hot water, no boiling water, because we don't want you to burn. But I like mine with a little bit of salt, and this is clearly optional. So I'll be adding a little bit of salt. So just make sure that you add, if you're gonna add any, either you can actually add a little bit of herbs too, dry herbs or fresh herbs if you wish.
What herbs would you use, do you think?
Well, I've seen some people using mixed herbs. Especially if you're a vegan, you have a vegan diet, and you want a little bit more consistent or flavor, you can add a little bit of herbs to it. Some people add cauliflower to it, and some others the spinach. So, and to be honest, it tastes quite well. It tastes very good. So just make sure if you are gonna add those dry ingredients, mix the flour well.
And you were saying the heat is important on the water.
The water, yes, correct. The water has to be nice and warm, not boiling hot, but it has to be nice, quite hot. If you use cold water, you will not, the masa will not work well at all. So I'm just going to be adding this. You don't need any mixers. You just need your hand. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to it and just try to get a consistency, a nice, smooth consistency.
Everyone can see. There you go.
Sorry, yes. So it's got to be playable. And right now it's a little bit too dry still. So add water as you need it. And it's getting there. Just a little bit more water because it's still quite dry.
How many tortillas do you make a week?
Oh, do you want to know?
Yeah.
Well, I make about 40 dozen. 40 dozen a week.
And you do them all by hand?
Yes, I love it. It's very therapeutic for me. I love doing this.
And so who taught you how to make these?
I actually taught myself. My mom used to make them, and I used to watch her when I was growing up. She liked making things from scratch, not because she needed to, but when I had my kids.
Yep. And how many tortillas do you think this amount? 2 cups of the flour?
It will make up to, depending on the size, it will make up to 16 to 15 tortillas. So roughly is 2 cups. The ratio is 1 cup of masa flour to 1 cup of very hot water. In this case, depending on the weather, you might need a little bit more. So that's why it's good to have a little bit more water here. So the dough is actually ready. I'm just going to add a little bit more because it feels...
And so with the tortillas, so in Mexico, would you always have like a soft tortilla? Or would you deep fry these ever? Yes, you can deep fry them, and you can make tostadas. Tostadas, which is the hard shell, but the flat hard shell, not the taco shell. Yes, so the dough is actually quite pliable. You can see that it doesn't stick much on my hand, and it's ready. We're ready to go. And so the tortilla press, if we were to make our, like in Australia, we do the shell tortillas, like a taco. You would make them with this shape, with the tortilla press? And then you would deep fry them with this recipe? Would that work?
Yes.
You just shape them?
You just need to shape them. You need to have a mold or find a way to actually make taco and then deep fry it.
Yes.
I'm not sure. It'll be probably too... I'm not sure. It'll be a little bit difficult, but it's doable. It's doable. So the masa is actually ready. The pan is nice and hot. I'm actually going to turn it a little bit down because I don't want my tortilla to burn. Then you just make a little bowl the size of a
plum.
A plum.
I read it was a plum, the size of a plum.
The tortilla will make a nice flat tortilla. So now what you need to do, don't place the bowl. Don't place the bowl right in the middle. It needs to be probably 24.
So slightly off center.
Yes, offset to the top. So now you press gently, peel it.
Oh, that's perfect.
And we got a nice, perfect round tortilla.
Lovely. And so you're cooking one at a time on there. You can see it's cooking already.
Yes. So the tortilla will be ready when the edges start to dry. That's when you know that you need to flip it. You cannot. It will need to be flipped. See how it's lifting?
Yes.
So this section is actually cooking faster than this because that one is not lifting. But I can actually lift it. See? Beautifully done, beautifully cooked. So you need to cook it and flip it 3 times. That's
You cook it and flip it 3 times.
Yes.
Should I get a plate for you to put these on?
Yes, please. With a tea towel to keep it warm.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. And while you're waiting, see, it's very, very quick. While you're waiting for that one to cook, you can start making another one. Oh, look, Joe, when this happens, when it starts puffing,
Yeah.
that means somebody's ready to get married.
Oh, does it?
Yes. An old wives' tale. So I'm just gonna keep making them. This one is slightly bigger, but it's quite.
There you go. Just like that?
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
put that there. So you flip that one 3 times?
Yes,
Yeah.
you flip it 3 times. The reason that I asked for more water, to have extra water, is because while you're working the masa and making the tortillas, the masa actually goes,
Starts drying out.
It dries. So it's very important that you have, see this one is ready, so we're gonna flip it.
So that bubble that formed, it doesn't happen every time?
No, but that's what they used to say to the young girls that were making tortillas. When it starts, when it bubbles, and if it bubbles fully, it's ready. You're ready to be married.
So would you eat these in your house every week? Yourself?
Yes. My family, they enjoy having good Mexican food. My daughter's actually quite good at making them now.
Great.
She's been making them since she was 7. So this one's ready. So as you can see, the machine just does it all for you. It presses very well. If you have a double one, if you have a double a cast iron pan, you can actually make 3 or 4, depending
At
on
once,
the size.
yeah.
You can also make them smaller for small tacos.
Would you have, is a quesadillas traditional or no?
Yes.
And so you could use these to make quesadillas as well?
Yes.
They're big in our household, quesadillas.
Yes. So you would need to make a bigger size, and again, you can make it as big as you want in this pan. So if you want to make quesadillas, you will aim to make them a little bit bigger, because once you fold them, you want to make sure that you have the filling, enough room for the filling. So this one is cooking quite differently than the others. This one is cooking a little bit more in the middle, but it's ready to be flipped. And yes, so this is how it's done.
Perfect.
So just remember, very hot water, have extra water, and a good quality tortilla making machine like this one, and you're set. You're ready to go.
You were saying when I asked you to, you make corn tortillas. You can make flour ones, but you need to do something different with the recipe. It takes a bit longer.
Well, the flour tortillas are, you need to let the dough
rest.
Rest, and because of the gluten, and this is completely different technique, but it's like you can find those flour tortillas just about anywhere.
Yes.
And good quality ones too. But these ones, they still have quite a bit of work to do.
So when do you start making tortillas when you're for your market stall? Do you start on a Friday or do you start early on a Saturday?
I'm making fresh.
Saturday morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
About 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when the tortillas are made.
Wow. So your pork's cooking away in the slow cooker out the back there.
The pork's ready and the tortillas are getting there. So we got the salsa also waiting for somebody to try it out. So this is ready. So if you guys want to, start trying something out, we can start making the tacos and we can show them how it's done.
Great. So should we clean this off then, and we'll get ready
back
for the to make the
tacos. Yes, the final.
We've got some pork that you made earlier.
Yes.
Yep. So
we're back now with the end product for the 3 recipes that we made today. So we made the roasted jalapeno salsa, and we made the pulled pork and adobo. Look at that. It looks beautiful. And the fresh corn tortillas. And we're just gonna be serving them now with make some tacos. So let's start. You can see how playable the fresh corn tortillas can be. See, and this is what you need. This is what you are aiming when you make tortillas. If they break when you fold them, there's something wrong.
Would it be in the mixture of the dough?
Yes, that's why it's very important that you have enough water. The dough has to be moisturized, and also the heat of the water has to be perfect too. So I'm just gonna place this here.
That pork looks incredible.
It is.
And smells amazing.
So I'm gonna try to see the colors of it, and it's just beautiful. Look at that.
And so that was from which part of the pork?
This is the shoulder.
Shoulder.
This is the shoulder. But you can use shoulder. I like working with shoulder and butt. It's just, yes, and look at it. It's just so, wow. We're hungry.
Sure
so
are.
You just place them.
I might just move that so we can see you.
Yes.
There you go. So you were saying you would serve this with some coriander and cheese, perhaps?
Yes, a little bit of coriander on top, just for garnish to make them look pretty. Oh, I'm sorry.
And did you say, is this the recipe that you can transfer to beef and chicken as well?
Yes, you can do this with beef and chicken. Beef is actually quite nice too, with both. But I mean, if it can be with vegetables, even vegetables. But don't cook it so long if it's so long, because
yes.
the vegetables will turn into mush. Anyway, so then you add a little bit of salsa, the roasted salsa on top.
Everyone's gathering around to try these out, Gabriela.
Ooh, yes. I even want to try it. I'm just going to add a little bit more to this one. Looks a little bit lonely. And this is when you will add your coriander. So there you go.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
A traditional taco, see,
yeah,
and it doesn't break.
Yeah. So thank you so much for showing us how to make those. I'm definitely going to tuck in. Can you guys see how delicious that looks? And can't wait to try them. And thank you for showing us how to make these tortillas.
Thank you for inviting me. Thanks.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. We'll see you guys soon. Don't forget, you can find the recipe on our blog. And also, if you missed anything, you'll be able to see it on YouTube and Facebook. And we look forward to seeing you there soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.